everyone, I'm Olympian Carrie Tellefson, and welcome to the See Tolle Run podcast. Today on the pod, I am bringing you Kelly McLay. I met Kelly at the Champions Reception in Chicago right after she ran her 100th marathon. Kelly writes on her website that she's a mom, she's a wife, she's a marathoner, an author, a keynote speaker, and a traveler. She's also a coach. Kelly is the owner of Fitness International Travel, a travel company that designs race weekend plans around the world. It sounds so cool. They guarantee at a race entry, they plan your day to day, your lodging, transportation, meals, costumes, all the things. It sounds like a really cool job. And I think I need to go on a trip with her. So, in this episode, we hear all about all of those things, but we dig into her wedding anniversary weekend that happened to be the Bank of America Chicago Marathon and her 100th marathon. We also talk about life on the road and parenting, her health battles, her company, and her favorite marathon. This woman is very busy, but she took a little bit of time, and I'm so excited to have her on the show. So, let's get after it. All right, Kelly, 100 is in the books. You did it.
I did. I can't believe it. I had such a great day. Chicago was on fire. Everybody was out, and it was such a wonderful day in the city. City of records.
City of Records, that's right. I cannot believe, though, that you have done 100 marathons with everything you have going on. I mean, I really wanna dig into this, but first of all, you were in Chicago, you ran your 100th, and did I just see on Instagram that you wore the same shorts that you did when you started marathoning?
I did. I cannot believe I still have them, but I said, "Oh my, I am going to wear these shorts again."
That
And
is
they were
so cool. So
Nike.
they were Nikes, which is good for Chicago because 'cause they're sponsored by Nike, but that was from 2005. That is, like, so fun to hear because I have gear from 2005 that I still wear.
Well, when I knew that I still had them, I thought, "Oh my god, I saved these for a reason, and we gotta
Yeah.
bring them back. Gotta go old school and put them on," and it actually was so meaningful to go back
Yeah.
to this race kit that I had on my very first marathon and wear those shorts
Mm.
to cross for number 100. Yeah, I had a little cry about it because it brought me right back to that moment with my sister and her 2 friends and all of us
Yeah.
women running our first marathon in Boston and trying to get to that finish line and having no idea,
Mm.
what we were doing.
Yeah, Boston's your home course, right? Like, that's where you are?
It's my hometown. I'm just, 20 minutes northeast, and for years, so many of our friends would do this marathon, older
Oh,
friends, and
yeah.
it became such a family tradition, and, yeah, so crossing Boston as my first marathon, it just means so much to me. I'll never forget that first marathon. I'm sure I don't know if you probably don't forget yours.
No, not at all. I mean, when I met you in Chicago, it was like everyone was like, "Oh, you 2 definitely have to meet." We were chatting with a bunch of
They were.
people, yeah, yeah, they were like, "Oh, you don't know each other? What the heck?"
How
I
has
do
it been,
kinda
20 years?
Yeah, and
And
I do
I
kinda feel
actually
like we're long lost sisters, sort of. I mean, just, 3 kids and working mamas and doing all the things and having, like, this running thing be just sort of a central part of our lives.
Yeah, I cannot imagine my life without it. The marathon changed my life, literally, and I just love it. I love the camaraderie it builds. I love that we got to meet each other, and right away, there's this synergy and
Mhm,
camaraderie. Like, that is the spirit of the marathon and these, event weekends, but also it's such a testament to overcoming obstacles and persevering. And so many people have these incredible stories on race day. And the fact that it brings our communities together in such
mhm.
celebration, I love it. I love the passion. I like live and breathe 26.2.
Yeah, okay, so I wanna dig into Chicago a little bit, but I wanna first learn about you. Like, who's Kelly McLay? Like, why the marathon? Why 100 of them? Why your whole business is built around the marathon? And we'll talk about your awesome business. But tell me how you grew up and how you got into this sport.
Yes, so The marathon for me, I actually hated running. I was
Really?
not a track athlete. No. I mean, I was a sports athlete, and actually, my senior year of high school, I wasn't gonna play softball, and my father said, "Okay, well, you need to pick a sport," and so I picked track and field, and I lasted, like, 2 weeks, and I just didn't understand the I was always a team sport player, so running laps on my own, I was like, "What? Who am I competing against?" So
Yeah.
I quit. I quit after 2 weeks, I know,
Okay,
but
it's okay.
I know. So, during college, I was having a really difficult time, just physically, and,
Mm.
after I graduated, I wasn't even close to the athlete that I once was. I was a three-sport athlete. I picked up springboard diving in college. I always just like to try things, and it was Division 3, but it
But
also, side note,
still.
happens to be, Joan Benoit Samuelson's alma mater, Bowdoin College, so
Yes! Oh,
I
I love
know.
Bowdoin. I love Brunswick and that area. It's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. Fabulous, fabulous college. So, yeah, so when I graduated from college, I was a far cry from the athlete that I once was, and I didn't know what was going on. And I was having hot flashes and night sweats, and
Mm.
I had, you know, gained a little bit of weight, and I was so lethargic and I was depressed, and I just couldn't put it all together. And after about a year and a half, I got a new doctor referral, and come to find out that due to a autoimmune condition that I have in my thyroid, it also affected my ovaries and thrust me into premature ovarian failure, which thrust me into menopause. So I went to
Wow.
menopause at 20, um, and I was
20.
devastated. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those symptoms that you mentioned, like, could easily be equated to, working out hard or being in a pool where your body temperature is a little bit lower and then at night, it rising up a little bit. And I mean, all these factors that would never think a young woman would be going through something like that.
No, and I remember going to my doctor saying, like, "Look, I understand I'm not bleeding profusely, but this is not me. Like, I
Yeah.
have a lot of energy. I'm a happy person." And so I had a underactive thyroid condition when I was a child. Thyroid
Okay.
conditions run in my family. It just so happened that, I was unique in this case where
Hmm.
it affected my ovaries and my endocrine system. So my adrenal system is a little shoddy as well. And so then, yes, on repeat, one doctor finally listened, and I was like, "Look, you asked me." She said, "Look, your thyroid is like you have the metabolism of a 90-year-old, but let me know if anything else is out of whack." And I said, "Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but I was 24." Okay, so
Yeah.
I said, "Look, when I sleep at night, I wake up and I feel like I'm soaking wet. I need to change my clothes. I'm in a bar with my friends and I get nauseous and claustrophobic and I gotta get out." Like,
Huh.
I was watching ice skating the other day and I burst into tears, like, when the girl fell. I go, "This sounds crazy." And finally she said, "Okay, let's tech test your FSH." And I was well off the charts. I shouldn't even been on the
Wow.
charts. And that test came back, after several, and then I was postmenopausal.
Oh, and so devastating at that age. Like, what do I do? What am I going to do with my life?
So devastating, and I know that was, like, a long segue for how I got into this, but I was 20, none of my friends could relate to me. We all know how hormones are, and
Mm.
if anyone's going through menopause right now, it's a hot mess, and, I embrace it, but I have gone through the ups and downs of this, and I just needed something that felt so unattainable and felt like I was young again in my 20s, and so
Mhm.
I hated running, I couldn't run a mile, and I just picked the farthest thing that I could do, and I picked the marathon,
Oh
and
my goodness.
I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't even know about qualified culture then. Like I said, my friends and family was tradition. I saw them achieving this really hard goal. I was striving for anything that would make me feel confident again. And they were in the FBI, so that's how I got my entry. It is legit. Um, and because I
Your
know
parents
people
were in
on
the
this podcast.
FBI?
They're friends,
Okay,
and they
okay.
were one of the first judges in Charlestown, so
My gosh.
I know some people will ask, "How did she run Boston for the first time?" So,
I just thought it was so
uh,
long ago you actually could just enter.
to get in. No, it was
Sorry.
still very hard to get in. You
Yeah.
had to qualify and, or they had these, invitational entries, and so I
Uh-huh.
got one of these, which was still very special, and so it was very meaningful, and I did not think I was gonna make it. I did not.
Did you
Um,
get to the sit go sign and think, "I can't make it anymore?"
I just thought it was so stupid to even show up, like, how was I not
Oh,
gonna go from not being able to run 1 mile to 26.2, and,
yeah,
um, you just chip away at it, and
sure.
when I did take that left onto Boylston and
Boy,
Hereford, and you can
Wilson.
see the finish
Mm.
line so far away, and I knew I was gonna make it, I think they were just I still get choked up,
Uh-huh.
like, seeing that and ugly tears all down Boylston and just
Oh,
charging forward for that first finish line, yeah, so, it was
yeah.
beautiful, ugly, beautiful.
Well, when you did that, though, I mean, I think this is what we don't do in life is, like, really understand. I mean, it's okay to be emotional about things. It's okay to feel good about achieving goals, and I think a lot of times we're just, like, on to the next, like, "Okay, check that off," like, "We're tough cookies, we can do it," right? But you still get emotional after running 100 marathons and thinking back because it wasn't just the marathon, like, that in itself is really cool. But I am assuming that day, you really grew as a person, like, you figured out, "I can do this," like, it's one foot in front of the other, it's pretty simple activity at times, but it was bigger than that.
It was bigger than that, that first finish line just changed my life, it really taught me
Mm,
that we can do hard things,
yeah,
um, that I had no idea how I was gonna be able to do it, and I just kept, like you said, one foot in front of the other, and,
mm,
you know, on at Chicago, Mike Nishi told me, or he said 20,000 of the racers were first-time marathoners.
that's so
First-time
cool.
marathons. And I got choked up because it's still every finish line for me is still very emotional. There's still a
Yeah,
journey to it. And I think for so many of us, it's more than the finish line. It's the
mhm,
journey, it's our why. And it felt so amazing to me that almost half of the field was going back to that first day. I was in the shorts that I had from 20 years ago from that
yeah,
very first marathon that was life changing. And I just thought a lot about all those first time marathoners having all those feels,
sure.
um, and finding their way. And
Yeah,
yeah, that first
mm,
finish line taught me, like, it gave me such a level of confidence that I so needed and brought me
mhm.
back, a little bit of myself, my former
Yeah,
self.
brought you back to you. Going through
Yep.
menopause that early on, I mean, there were some big life decisions that you had to make, and it's so cool for me to know. I mean, I too have gone through menopause early. Like, I'm in my, 40s and it started really
Yeah,
early in
that
my
is early.
40s.
Right.
And I had Greer, my last one, at 39. So I'm just so thankful that it worked for me to have him while I was perimenopausal. I know it's like all these things now that I'm learning, but for you at that young age to wonder, kiddos, like, "Am I gonna be a mom?" And it's so fun to be able to say you're a three-time mom and, all am I gonna be able to run marathons? And you did 1, and now you've done 100, and now you have a marathon company where you travel all over the world and bring people with you, and you're like their travel agent, basically, where you make their experience amazing. Like, it's just really cool what you've done with that maybe confidence that you gained from that race.
Absolutely. Like when I look back, I never imagined that that first finish line would lead to so many other of these finish lines, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's about just trying to say, yes, what's the worst that can happen if you
Mm,
fail? You can pick yourself up again and try, whether it's you're going after like a 5K or a 10K. And so yes, like that, my passion for this sport became my profession, and
mhm.
I ran all through infertility, all through navigating that next step and that next chapter, and at the time when I ran Boston, I had graduated from Bowdoin, as we mentioned, and
Mhm.
I thought, the world is my oyster, and I just hit this rut. I was in a bad mental
Yeah.
spot. I really felt like it was impossible. I was hanging around this is hilarious, actually. My mom and her friends, like,
Yeah.
carried me through. We went to the musical Menopause together, and I was like,
Oh,
"What
I've been to
real
that.
world yes, am I living in?" Because all of them were going through menopause, and none of my
Yes.
friends were, and they couldn't understand it, and,
Oh,
menopause right now is a trendy topic, but I'm telling you,
yes.
20 years ago, people did just not spit
You
it out
did
of their
talk
mouth.
about it. Yeah.
No,
That's why none
and
of us knew about it because our moms never talked about it. Your mom was kind of, on the forefront, I guess.
yeah, so I was hanging around with them, and we were all navigating the sweat I call it navigating the sweaty life, which goes really well into marathons,
Yes.
and then it spilled into me finding this profession and this love, and now I get to see people accomplish these goals, and to me,
Yeah.
like, they're striving for the finish line, they're running for so many different things, and maybe for themselves as well, and I'm watching
Mhm.
them get confident and see the world, and
Mm,
God,
so cool.
like I said, it just goes back to meeting you on this weekend, like, all of the
Yeah.
incredible friendships and activeness that we're seeing in these beautiful cities and learning about one another. It's just I feel so lucky, I pinch myself. So I wouldn't want it would I wish the diagnosis didn't happen? Yes, because my
Mhm.
journey to having children would have been different,
Super
and I
hard.
was
Yeah.
devastated. My mom ran a daycare, and I always wanted to have children.
Oh,
Um, and so when I got that, that was part of the loss, you know?
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but had I not received that diagnosis, I never would have run a marathon.
Yeah.
Like, I hated
Yeah.
running, and I never would have found this job, and I
Yeah.
never would have, you know, met all of these other finish lines. I truly believe that.
I think a lot of people have that aha moment during those races because 'cause they're, like,
Right?
going through, like, "Why am I doing this? This is terrible," and, "What am I gonna do now? Like, I gotta do something big now." But, like, let's talk about your career because, I mean, seriously, it seems like I know it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time away from home and your family, but sort of a dream job. Like, you are making goals happen for people, you're bringing joy to people's lives, and you're seeing the world at the same time, like, so cool, and for me, it's really neat that you're doing it through running. So, tell us about your company a little bit.
Absolutely. I love what I do. Hopefully that comes through,
Yes,
when
it
you see me on the
does.
weekend. Thanks.
So
And
cool.
it's Fitness International Travel. I founded it almost a decade ago. So I feel like I gave birth to a company and my babies because my oldest is going to be 9. And yes, we build what I like to think of is 5-day, 4-night expert curated tours, dedicated to runners and spectators around the event. So the event exists, it's the caveat for going, but we take care of all the operational things so you do not have to worry.
Mhm.
Honestly, at the end of the day, we try to say, like, just have your passport, pack your bag, and get on the plane, and we'll take care of the rest.
Oh, so cool.
Um, and yeah, I mean, look, we have a lot of fun. We call it the Fit Fam, and I curate things. So we have a hotel near the start and finish, and all the logistics that you're worrying about, how to get my bib, how to get to the starting corrals, how do I get home from the finish line? Do I need to navigate the metro, like say in Tokyo? We take that
Mhm.
worry away so that you can focus on the fun and the training.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool, but it has to be a lot of work. I mean, if you're going to you've been to so how many marathons do you think you've been to in your life?
I've probably been to 120. So there's probably not many that I haven't run when I've been there. So usually I'm
That's
wearing multiple
interesting.
hats.
Yeah, and do you typically go and scout it out before you bring a big group? Like, so if you're, wanting to host a trip to wherever, India, I'm just picking out, kind of a wild place. Would you go there the year before and run it yourself and then bring the group?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we try
Okay.
to be experts so that we know, like, one, the vendors that we're using, where it is for the race. Oftentimes, that's why next week I'm actually running Cape Town Marathon,
Ah,
um, because I want to understand the course. I want to be able to say, like,
okay.
here's the gradient, here's how the water stations flow, here are the best spectator spots, here's how you walk from the finish line. So all of those things I don't know if my body's excited to run a marathon next week, but it's market research
Yeah.
so that we can have these. And Yes, if we don't go the year before, then we'll offer it as a pilot program that it
Okay.
still has the fit, expert level. It's designed by myself as a marathoner. I have a good idea of our partners and our vendors on the ground. But it's a pilot, so it's a little bit less money because it's not that curated, bow
I
tied fit product.
Oh, that's brilliant too, just so they kinda know upfront that you're learning together.
Yeah, and oftentimes too, it's about the camaraderie. So you want a little bit of a foundation if you're traveling somewhere so that you can come back,
Mhm.
you can have your team to give you a hug, pick you up off the ground, celebrate, have a beer, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they do look to us when they're adding a new destination because they'll want our insight. And
Mm.
fortunately, I have been able to travel the 7 continents a few times. So that
And
came
you've
off
done
pretty
the
easy.
the Great World Race 3 times? Did I read that right? 3?
So I've finished all 7 continents 3 times,
Okay.
twice in 1 week,
Twice for the race.
which was at the World Marathon Challenge. Yeah.
Which is wild, and people that have listened to See Tally Run, they know that we've done, like, Bex and Jenny Simpson and a number of other ones that have done it. Ryan Hall, I think, a few years ago, actually, already. So we've talked about the Great World Race or Great World Challenge, but, it's pretty cool you've done it twice. You're
Thank you. I
wild.
know, and just hearing all those incredible runners and speaking to you, I'm just a mom. Like I said, I could have been running around the world and just got off a plane from Antarctica, and I'm in the grocery store buying a gallon of milk. So, um,
Excuse
w
me, you are not just
yeah.
a mom. Well, you are one fat mom. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Like, you definitely get it done. And that's the thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Like, I love that you ran your 100th in Chicago. I love that it was your wedding anniversary. Like, you kind of seem to like, you can clearly tell you're a planner. You had your family there. Your kids were there. Your in-laws were there. Like you had your friends and family running the race with you. So you wore your outfit from way back when. Like you're detail oriented. But I think the cool thing is that you always make sure to remember, like, that you are this mom, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about, like, how do you do it all? Because for me, being a mom of 3 and traveling and being on the road, and we were talking about our rock star husbands, but how do you do it all? And you're very passionate, clearly, of your job, and you give a lot of time to so many other people, like, how do you keep it all together?
Thank you, and,
Maybe you
I
don't,
think
because I don't. I got
no.
home this weekend, I'm like, "Has anyone done any laundry? There's food in the sink, like, come on," but then I'm like, "Charlie's been all over the place. Can you just zip it, lady?"
Oh, well, look, I told you my plane got canceled yesterday. I landed at 3:30 AM. My kids, you should have seen them this morning trying to get them to school, but I love it. I love being back in that, they were with me, there on the
Yes.
course. So, look, it's not perfect, but I think for me, something's got to give. We can't all be all of these elements to everyone.
Mhm.
But I think I do love what I'm doing. I feel like you never work a day if you
Yeah.
love what you're doing.
Mm.
But I would say, like, if something's taking a beating, it's training. I don't have much time
Oh.
to actually train,
Mhm.
and help myself not log it on race day.
Yeah. And you have to.
But
I mean, for you, you have to keep training because you can't do these marathon after marathon after marathon, week after week if you don't.
yeah, so I think training takes a beating, but, like, because I am traveling so much and I do have the company going, and like you said, it's a lot of operational logistics. Think about what you do for
Mhm.
one race when you're getting all your gear and
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z, and sometimes, we try to stay boutique and unique, but sometimes we'll have about 150, 250 people on a trip, but I wanna make sure, like, at the end of the day that I've tried to engage with all of them and said hi and given them a hug or
Yes.
know if it's their 6th star. I mean, that for me is what separates Fit out, from the rest of the industry is that I am a mom. I care not that dads
Mhm.
don't care either, not saying that, but I have a lot of passion for the sport and what it did and what it can do for others, and we have awards that we give out at the end of the day, not only to the fastest runners, but, we give them out to the 6 star, and then we have what we call is the Fit Fine Wine Award, and that is someone that I wanna be. I aspire to be when I grow up, like Joni, still running and finishing 40 years after her PR,
Yeah.
and so we give out a fit bottle of wine to,
That's
our
cool.
dedicated, matured runners, and
Yeah.
then it's not about the time. We always say, like, "Have the time of your life out there," and so we've
Mhm.
come up with the Fit Time of My Life award, which goes to the person that might have really enjoyed the course out there all day. So,
Mm, mm.
um, but the balance is just understanding that you can't do it all. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's, um, training get I'm 100% with my kids, but I
Yeah.
need to leave, and then the village needs to pick it up, and then when I come back, I'm 100% with them.
Mhm.
Um, and the funniest thing is people are like, "How did you fly back from Sydney, Australia with your 3 kids alone?" And I said, "Well, have you seen me traveling around with, like, 3 hotels and 250 people and all the
Yeah.
branding and all the gear and all of the events and then running the marathon and getting people to the start?" I'm like,
Mhm.
3 kids from Australia?
You
Breathe.
see, it's like running the marathon and then dropping down and running a 5K. You know, it's
Right,
hard no matter what, but you've done it. You've gone a little further, you've had a little more people with you, and 3 kids is easy.
right? It's all perspective.
It is,
Well,
it
and it's
is. Oh, that
funny
is so
'cause
cool.
when people are training for the marathon, they've never run a marathon before, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they start saying, "Oh, it's just a half." And I'm like,
I
"It's not
know.
just a half, like,
No,
right?" But it's
no.
perspective now,
Yeah.
and they have to think back to when they first started and you couldn't make the half or I couldn't make 11 miles, you know? Um,
Mhm.
and but you do at some point, you're like, "Oh, it's just a 5K."
Yeah, you just get through it. Although it's weird, my husband's an Ironman guy, and he thinks it's harder to run a marathon than to do the Ironman, and I'm like, "What?"
I've heard
Like,
this.
think of all the gear again, like in logistics, the training, all that, but he said for him, he goes harder in the marathon, so physically and mentally it's harder because he's just kinda getting through the Ironman, but for me too, like, when I think of a 5K, yeah, I just said this today. Someone said, "You wanna try to break 250 by the time you're 50, or do you wanna try to break 5 minutes for the mile or run a fast 5K?" And I'm like, "Oh, running the mile and
Oh
the
god,
5K fast, that's hard." Like, then I have to go to the track, and I gotta worry about pulling hamstrings and all that. So, it's
right?
all like you said, it's all in perspective. You gotta just, like it's all hard. We all figure it out.
It's all hard, but I think that that's why we keep setting goals, and that's why I love doing this and showing up every day. My
Mhm.
kids, they gain resilience, and,
Uh,
I watch other clients around the world. They come and, like, we have these mini reunions, and then we have new
so
people,
cool.
and then they foster relationships further and go back to these other events, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a beautiful community, the running community.
Mhm. Well, you've done a great job, and I love it, and I am gonna come on one of your trips, I think, one of these times because it sounds
I
so
thought we talked
cool.
about Bordeaux, right?
Yeah, we did. Maybe next year, we'll see. Dina Castor and I at the very end of our night, because we went out after we saw you, and we were talking about it. We're like, "Hey, we could invite this person, this person." So, you got us excited. I thought it would be fun to go through some of your faves with you, but kind of in a quicker style
Sure,
interview. Do you wanna do that? Okay.
I'm
Favorite world
game.
marathon major? I'm sorry, am I like maybe you can't say that because you have so many tight connections.
Oh my goodness. No, I look, I have to go. Oh,
I know, it's so
this is
hard. You
not
live in
quick. Sorry,
Boston.
I'm so quick.
That's okay. You just ran Chicago for your 100th. New York is New
Right,
York. I mean, I always go for the domestic ones because that's the only ones I've been to.
right. So this is not quick now, but Boston was my first. Chicago was my 100th. Berlin, I've run 9 times and was my 99th. Tokyo is just fabulous, and the culture there is
Yes,
incredible, and they're so kind, and
they
it's so
are.
clean.
Konnichiwa, I love
Um,
it every time I go. I'm like, "Can you just say that over and over again?" Because they do. They say it every time you see
right.
them.
London has the charities and the costumes and all like it's 5 to 10 deep with the crowds. And then, oh no, Sydney is the newest one, and I went to the University of Sydney, so
Mhm.
there's there is that.
Yeah, it's impossible. But you have done tell us how many times you've done the World Marathon Majors. Is it like you're a 3-time six-star finisher?
A little gluttonous, isn't it? But when I'm there, I just can't help myself. And I People are gonna say, "Oh, well, with the company, she has access." I don't have access to all the majors, so I am there trying to
You
get in
gotta
as well and trying to
mhm.
find ways. I don't get, guaranteed entry, so for Tokyo, I've had to navigate the charity system, but that's how I've been able to help my clients understand how that works.
Yeah.
And for New York, I'm running for, Tourette's this year, and
Oh,
at New York,
cool.
yeah, it's really great, and so I will, at New York, finish my 4th round of the Abbott World Marathon Majors.
Oh my gosh. I love
This
it.
is
It's
this is
amazing.
how you get to 100.
It's so cool. Okay, okay. So
Alright, that wasn't quick,
this might
sorry.
that's okay. I mean, we can skip through things too, but favorite hotel? Can you like when you're like,
Oh,
"Oh, I
absolutely,
travel
I know
all
this.
over." You know it?
Yes,
Okay,
so
go.
yeah. I mean, I love our hotels in London, and I love our camping logistics on safari in Kenya, but the Tokyo Edition Sharananam that we use in Tokyo for the marathon is by far our best property. It's on the 36th floor of the building, it overlooks Tokyo Tower, and I just feel like I'm stepping into Crazy Rich Asians, the movie, whenever I'm there, and I walk around in my blue Crocs like it's, you know, I'm not in this
Typical
five-star
runner.
hotel. Yeah,
Typical
and
runner.
they accept it,
Seriously.
and they love it, and they say their motto for the edition is, like, they're 1% unique, and I said, "Look, our
Yeah.
marathon group fits you because 1% of the world runs a marathon," and they
There you
love
go.
our group because it's so different from the business groups that they
Yeah.
get.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so what is the name of it?
The Tokyo Edition Toranomon.
Oh, alrighty. That's the
Rannon
name
Hills,
of
yeah.
the hotel
Mhm.
in London.
In Tokyo.
Oh,
No, it's
in
in Tokyo.
Tokyo.
I love
I
our
thought you
Tokyo.
said in London.
No, I love
In
our London one. We stay on the Thames right in
okay,
front of
okay,
the London Eye,
okay.
and I love our Kenya Safari ones, but the top one that I've stayed at
Oh,
is the
is in
Tokyo.
Tokyo. Okay, okay, okay. See, this is where like some of my hearing is going to. So okay. Favorite tropical marathon? Like which hot or whatever. Tropical.
Um, Tropical ones are really hard for me because weather and the heat
Hard. Mhm.
is really hard. I would say it's not tropical, but Africa by far
Okay.
in is run on hills and it's beautiful. We're in a game park. The scenery is stunning, and you just look off into the savannah and the plains, and you can see some of the animals.
Oh my
And
goodness.
they're locals. Yeah, it's stunning. So it's a hard course because it's run at elevation. It's in heat. It's on trail and it's hilly, and there's no, you know, protection from the sun. So it just has all those elements that make it, even harder.
Yeah. It's like running through on a safari. I mean, you see giraffe and
Yes,
hopefully
I've
not
had
like
giraffes cross in front of
yeah,
me on the course. It's daunting. It is a little scary, but, it's stunning. I've
that's so
seen rhino
cool.
in the distance, and you're
Gosh.
running it's in Kenya, so you're running with all Kenyans, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So pretty. I saw it this weekend. I think you had it on. Okay, favorite cold climate marathon or trip?
Antarctica,
It's
by
beautiful.
far.
Mm,
It's pure, it's pristine, there's no sound, just the ebb and flow of your feet off the ice.
mm.
Um, it's just vision, clear, pure white vision for miles, and then the mountains. I've run in it been fortunate enough to run in a few different places in Antarctica, and just the serenity of it all is really beautiful.
Oh, I love that too. Well, I have not been to Antarctica, but I've been to the the salt flats in Utah.
Yes,
I said it backwards. That
that's fine.
to me, just when you said all white, like I can just remember we were there for a big ASICS event actually. And they do a lot of photo shoots out there, but it was really cool. Like they just to see white forever. And I live in Minnesota, so I see a lot of white in the winter.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's just that flat expanse, though.
yeah. Mhm.
Um, it feels endless and timeless, and I I actually did win that marathon, but there was no Carrie wasn't
Hold on.
there, and
Hold
no,
on. You
but
cannot jump over
no,
that.
there was 15 women, but, um, It was about negative upwards to -20. The wind gusts were up to 50 miles an hour. It
Oh,
was you
hard.
can't even tell it's me because I have every layer covered.
Are you
Um,
sure it was you? I'm
y
just teasing.
maybe not. Joking.
No, that's so cool. That must have been really fun though too to crack the tape.
It was cracking the tape. I finished my 7th continent there the first time, not in a week, and it was the first
Yeah,
time, and then
yeah.
I actually called, my husband from satellite phone to tell him, and I'm like there's actually an image of it, me crying, telling him, and he
Oh,
said, "This is gonna be funny." He's like, "Oh, can you hold on, hon, because ESPN was calling him because it was Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, and our daughter had, like, a viral video," and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I just
And
won
then
here. They should take the phone and interview me.
and I was like, "Yeah, I'm positive I'm in Antarctica." Exactly. It was a really funny scene, and so now he's saying to ESPN, "Sorry, my wife's calling from Antarctica."
She just won the marathon here, but yeah, let's talk about my 9-year-old daughter's whatever.
Yeah. Oh, she was a baby, and she ended up we
Oh,
gave her a Michigan
oh,
pacifier, and she was spitting it out, and
oh,
then we
so
gave her the Ohio
cool.
State pacifier, and she,
Ah,
like, kept it in her mouth, and it's this
oh,
hilarious video, and her name's Scarlett, and we're Buckeyes, so
oh, that's great. I love it. Favorite place to take your family to? Like if somebody were to run a race, somewhere and they're like, I'm gonna go on a family vacation at the same time.
oh, I mean, they're all amazing. We're family friendly. I'm a mom, like, and
Mhm.
I want your loved ones to be there to celebrate this goal with you. So any of
Yeah.
them we can make work.
Okay.
Um, I'm big about that. Like you saw my family there this weekend, and
It's so fun.
exactly. So you don't want to miss your kids and
Yeah.
or
And you
your
help them
husband.
find
So
good activities to do while they're there.
100%. And that's the thing. The programs are planned with just enough so that you can
Mhm.
feel like your race is supported and that we're seeing a little bit of the city. And they're strategically planned so that you get up on local time and get
Yeah.
over jet lag, which is another big thing. But there's enough free time for you to still be yourself. Like this is your
Mhm.
vacation. This is
I
your
know. You're
even
spending
like
a lot of money to do it. Mhm.
exactly. So you need to enjoy it. But I love taking my family to Australia, even though it's really far away.
Yeah.
Um, really a great place for them to see and do a lot of activities, and, I've been back 20 times, so, my heart is in
My
Australia.
gosh. I mean, when you think about it, do you just pinch yourself like, I have seen the entire world? Like, are you putting pins around on a map that have shown you everywhere you've gone?
We do, my husband and I have a little bit of an argument, like, we have different colored pins because at first we just started about
Cool.
the destinations where we adventured around the world, and I was like, "But I
Uh-huh.
have more." So now
Oh.
there's other color pins to add to it,
Mhm.
no, it's a beautiful thing, and I learn a lot, just like running
Yeah.
these races, and I say, like, "Look, when we're at the start line, everyone's speaking the language of running,
Yeah.
and, we all can put on some shoes, and the streets are closed for us. When do you ever get to be in these
I
cities
know.
with the
Yeah.
streets closed to hear, like, the neighborhoods and the different feels, like,
Mm.
all the neighborhoods are out in Chicago and New York
Mhm.
and see the world, and it's a beautiful thing to see the world on foot.
Yeah, one of the things I'm in the booth now a lot at Chicago, but I used to be out on the like, where Kiera D'Amato was on the
It's
we'd
amazing, I
say,
love it.
D'Amato on the Demoto how do we say it? Yeah, D'Amato on the Demoto,
On the
um,
like, on the motor?
yeah. Yes. But, I told her, I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna have so much fun," because when you're racing, especially at her level, she's really zoned in on everything else, but I'm like, "When you're out there on the Demoto, you're going to smell your way through the city." Like, the first half, you don't really smell much. It just smells like a city, but then you get through, like, Pilsen area, and then you go through Chinatown, and you go through Little and all these places, Greektown, like, it's so fun, like, you smell tortillas and, like, it's
Yes,
cool.
it's amazing, and I will tell you, like, all those little neighborhoods give such a different, like, energy to what you're
Mhm.
doing and what you're experiencing and how you're navigating the course. That's awesome that you said that to her because, yeah, when you're in race mode, you're just so
Yeah.
focused, a lot of and you have to be,
Mhm.
especially at your levels, but you miss a lot of what's going around, and that's why I actually don't run with headphones. I don't run with music. I don't run with a
Yeah, me
watch.
neither.
Um, I just
Yeah,
love it
take it all
all.
in. Oh,
Mhm.
I love it too. Okay, we're gonna wrap up here. I'm gonna send everyone to your website to learn more about you and do all the things, but I really learn about people through rapid fire. These are my would you rather or this or that type questions. And these are kind of quick. I allow people to say both sometimes, but prefer for you to pick one or the other.
Okay, I promise I will commit to
Okay. It's okay if you don't. But
oh,
anyway, you ready? Sleep in a hotel or an Airbnb?
hotel,
Oh, okay. Eat
without a doubt.
booze during your race or chomps? Or is there something else?
Food, chicken sandwich.
During your race.
Sometimes, yes. Peanut butter and jelly,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah, that I love that too. As long as it doesn't get too squished. But yes, okay. Drink electrolytes or old school, go with Coke.
Both.
Really?
Love them both. All the things.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. And then sometimes those longer races that you've been doing, I'm sure you're just like, give me whatever I can get. Okay,
I
go
even had a
camping.
couple beers in Chicago. Sorry.
Oh, really? You're
I was
celebrating.
celebrating 100. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Go camping or RV it.
Camping,
Oh, really?
absolutely.
You want to rough it?
Mhm. Yep,
Okay.
and out on the stars. Mhm.
Oh, fun. Okay, vacay on the beach or in the mountains?
Beach. Although I love them both, but I would go for the beach and the water.
You can't think too long about these because then you'll backpedal. Okay,
No,
run
not
in the
backpedaling, I'm
rain.
going beach. I got married on
No,
the
okay, okay.
beach.
Oh, how many years have you been married, by the way?
12 on the 12th. It was our there's so many numbers.
My gosh, it's so fun. Yeah, we get to see you on the day. That was cool. Okay, run in the rain or run in the wind?
Warm rain?
Yeah, that's good. I agree.
I love running
Totally.
in the rain when it's warm, but if it's like
Yeah.
Boston 2018, I will
Oh,
take
no.
Antarctica or the wind over that.
That was this morning. I literally stepped in the door. I didn't know it was still pitch black out, and all of a sudden rain, and it was like 48. I'm like, "Thank goodness." I do not like that.
100%. And kudos to
Okay.
Des for winning that epic
I
marathon.
know, in a jacket.
Yep,
I couldn't
100%.
figure it out. It was the one year I wasn't home or wasn't there, I was at home, and I'm like, "What is happening? Why are they wearing jackets?" Like, they were all in the pack, and everyone and they look like it was parachutes, you know? And sure enough, I didn't realize at the time, I think I had missed, like, the early hit of what the weather was. It was terrible. Those poor runners. Okay, okay. Bring the
I
family overseas, which I think you've explained, or go quick and come back home to my fam. So would you
overseas,
rather bring
100%.
them? You wanna bring them.
I wanna
I
bring
love
them.
that.
They often don't get to come when I'm working, but I wanna bring them. I want them to see the
Yeah,
world.
that's so cool. Okay, last one. That's my alarm.
I fail.
I have, like, 800 alarms going all the time. Do you?
No, but I probably should.
I mean, mine's like, flip the grilled cheese. Gonna put an alarm for it. Like, all the things. Okay, last one. Good with 100 marathons or bring on 100 more?
Bring on 100 more. Absolutely. I just wanna keep running.
My goodness, lady. I do too. Can we
Come
work
run the world
together?
with me. 100%, I would love it, and I loved this time.
Oh, I loved it too. Thank you for taking the time. I know things have been crazy for you, but we wanted to celebrate you here and we are going to send everyone your way. This would be so fun to go on one of your trips. So, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Have a great time, and I hope to see you around the world.
Thanks so much for joining me today on See Tolly Run. My guest was Kelly McLay. You can find her on social media at Fitness International Travel. Big shout out to Run Dot for supporting the show and to our awesome editor, Andrew Harley. He's the producer of Try Dot and Run Dot's podcast. Also, if you're a fan of this pod, we would love to ask you to leave a rating and review in iTunes. And all you have to do is visit ctollyrun.com/review, and it'll bring you right to our show's page. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, all the things at C Tolly Run and at Carrie Tollefson. And if you want to check out our website, head on over to ctollyrun.com. Thanks so much for joining us today. And don't forget to get after it.